Dear students, we are studying the chapter A Shirt in the Market, and this is the part 2 of this chapter. Till now we have studied that how the cotton, raw cotton, reaches to the market through the traders and then to the weavers and after that merchants as cloth. Then this cloth reaches to the garment exporting factories. This is the picture of garment exporting factory near Delhi where women workers sewing buttons in this factory. In these kinds of factories, most of the workers are women because women get ready to work at low salaries or low wages. What happens after the cloth reaches to the garment exporting factory? The Erode merchant supplies the cotton cloth produced by the weavers to a garment exporting factory near Delhi. The garment exporting factory will use this cloth to make shirts. It means this cloth is used to make shirts by the factories. The shirts will be exported to foreign buyers. Among the foreign buyers are business persons. So, who are the foreign buyers? Business persons from the US and Europe who run a chain of stores. They store these shirts. These large stores do business strictly on their own terms. They demand the lowest prices from the suppliers. In addition, they set high standards for quality of production and timely delivery. Any defects or delay in delivery is dealt with strictly. So the exporter tries his best to meet the conditions set by these powerful buyers. So dear students, we have understood that big business persons from the abroad, US and Europe, etc., they get the supply from these kinds of merchants, right, from the cloth markets. Faced with such pressures from the buyers, the garment exporting factories in turn try to cut costs. They get the maximum work out of the workers at the lowest possible wages. So these garment exporting factories, they supply the prepared products like shirts to the business persons from the US and Europe at low prices. So to maintain or to produce the products at low prices, they have to cut the cost on the production. So they get the maximum work out of workers at lowest possible wages, and this way they can maximize their own profits and also supply the garments to foreign buyers at cheap prices. So in this way, the garment exporting factories do two main work. They supply the shirts to the big business persons at low prices and they get their profits also, right? How do they do this? Because they provide low wages to the workers and in this way they get more profit. The Impex garment factory has 70 workers. Most of them are women. Most of these workers are employed on a temporary basis. It means they are not permanent. And when the work demand is there, then they get the work. This means that whenever the employer feels that a worker is not needed, the worker can be asked to leave. Workers' wages are fixed according to their skills. The person with more skills will get more labor or wages. The highest paid among the workers are the tailors who get about 3,000 per month. Women are employed as helpers for thread cutting, buttoning, ironing and packaging. These jobs have the lowest wages. Payment to workers per month you can see in this table. Tailoring 3,000 rupees, ironing only 1.50, checking 2,000 rupees and thread cutting and buttoning 1,500 rupees. This is per month. The shirt in the United States. After that, this shirt you can see in this image. This shirt reaches to the US and it is ready to be sold at the price of $26. So that is each shirt sells for $26 or around 1200 rupees. 1200 rupees. The business person purchases the shirt from the garment factory, garment exporter, only in 200 rupees. After that, he stores it and its expenditure is 100 rupees. Then for advertising, 300 rupees. So total cost for big business person is 600 rupees for this shirt, and he sells it 1200 rupees at the price of 1200 rupees. So total profit of this business person is 600 rupees per shirt. So in this way you can fill these blanks with the help of this diagram. The garment exporter sold the shirt at rupees 200 per piece. The cloth and other raw material cost him 70 rupees per shirt. So here we'll know that what is the profit of garment exporter. As we have discussed that he sells this shirt to the big business person at 200 rupees price per piece. So here the cloth, whatever he purchases from the merchant and other raw materials cost him 70 rupees, right? And the workers wage cost another, I think, 15 rupees and per shirt. And here the cost of running his office came to rupees 15. So total cost per shirt 100 rupees. And he sells this shirt to the business person at 200 rupees. So total profit of garment exporter is 100 rupees per shirt. So in this way we can see that the garment exporter also gets good profit, 50% profit. Who are the gainers in the market? A chain of markets we are discussing here links the producer of cotton, Swapna, like Swapna, to the buyer at the supermarket, means consumer. So buying and selling takes place at every step in the chain. Let's recall who are the people who were involved in this process of buying and selling. Did they all gain as much? There were people who made profits in the market, and there were some who did not gain as much from this buying and selling. Despite their having toiled very hard, they earned little. Can you place them in the table shown here? Easily we can place them in this table. Like a big business person, they get very high profit. Exporting factory, garment exporting factory also get good profit. And big merchants, but who gains less or did not gain as much in the market. For example, the cotton producer, farmers like Swapna, they did not gain as much they could or they should in the market. And weavers and small suppliers or traders, they are not gaining as much in the market. So market and equality, the foreign business persons made huge profit in the market. Compared to this, the garment exporter made only moderate profits. So dear students, big business persons get very high profit and garment exporter get less profit but good profit in comparison of others. On the other hand, the earnings of the workers at the garment exporter factory are barely enough to cover their day-to-day needs. Similarly, we saw the small cotton farmer and weaver at Erode put in long hours of hard work, but they do not get the profit according to their work. Right? So the merchants or traders are somewhere in between. Compared to the weavers, they have earned more, but it is still much less than the exporter. Thus, not everyone gains equally in the market. Democracy is also about getting a fair wage in the market. Whether it is Kanta or Swapna, if families don't earn enough how would they think of themselves as equal to others? On the other hand, the market offers people opportunities for work to be able to sell things that they grow or produce. It could be the farmer selling cotton or the weaver producing cloth. On the other hand, it is usually the rich and the powerful people, like big business persons, that get the maximum earning from the market. These are the people who have money and own the factories. They have their own factory, they have their own large shops, large land holdings, etc. The poor have to depend on the rich and the powerful for various things. They have to depend for loans, as Swapna depended on for the loans, and small farmers also for raw materials and marketing of their goods. We was in the putting out system, like we have discussed about this example, and most often for employment workers at the garment factory. Because of this dependence, the poor are exploited in the market. Poor people are exploited, and there are ways to overcome these, such as forming cooperatives of producers and ensuring that laws are followed strictly. In the last chapter, we'll read about how one such fish workers cooperative was started on the Tava River. So, dear students, in this way we have completed this chapter. I hope that you understood this chapter. So, let's meet in the next video.